1252 Sports Entertainment presents the one, the only, the One-Timer Hockey Show. Live with Andrew Faubert and Matt Bannon. So get your puck bunnies and give your balls a tug, because it's time to do that hockey. Let's do that hockey, baby.
Hello, everyone, and welcome live from the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill 159 studios in beautiful downtown Lockport, Illinois. It's the One-Timer Hockey Show with me, Matt Bannon, and Andrew Faubert. Andrew, how are you doing tonight?
I am good. I'm living good up here in Canada.
Yeah, there you go.
Three more days of sun, and then the snow comes, and then we're.
I was going to say it's hitting us down here too. We're starting to get that cool, dripping, rain creeping into the roads. Yeah, so It's good though, because that means it's hockey season. That's really all we've been waiting for, right?
Oh, buddy, I've only been waiting to see exactly what this Red Wings team has been for sure. I don't know about you.
Great start. Oh well, yeah, mine's a little iffy, but you're what 2-0-1 now for the first three there.
2-0-1. We had a good opening win against the Canadians. Blanking out on who the heck we played in that second game, even though I have the
is that the Devils, I believe?
Yes, the Devils. And then the point that we stole from the Kings last night, literally with 2 seconds or whatever was left on the clock, and the fact that we actually – that guy was jogging in to an open net. And Larkin just out of nowhere with that reach around, and 30 seconds later we tie it up and we get a point. So I love it.
Yeah, evading that, and we're down here 1-2 start, which is better than I thought we were gonna do. We managed to beat the unwinning Sharks team there, now 0-4 against the season. So that's pretty nice. We'll take those 2 points. So it's been good start for you, rough for me, but it's only 3 games in, and both the next game for the teams is Friday here in Chicago. Yeah. So I'll be at that game rooting against you for me.
Oh, hopefully, yeah, for sure.
Give you the first regular season loss, but we'll see what happens there.
I mean, I said it from the beginning, from when I met you. I all the money that we put into this team, I'm happy that we're at least trying, and I'm happy that the rookies are going to get their time to shine, and we're not overstepping or overlapping any development going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I really wanted a shot at Bedard.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, though. I think we might have a slight edge on you there so far, but we'll see. If there's anything that this Hawks team has known to do in the last few seasons, it's how to mess up whatever we're trying to do. So, let's look at it. We got Seth Jones, and that was not great, even though he's doing better. So,
yeah, the pick that you had to give up in order to get Seth Jones, and then that inevitably becomes like the 4th or 5th pick overall is like
overall. Yep. And that kind of biting in the ass is really what you get used to. So hopefully a new leaf turning over here soon, but we'll see. I know a lot of people are having a decent run of bad luck. I mean, there's 6 winless teams so far after three or 4 games. I mean, New Jersey currently losing to Anaheim again, looking for an 0-3 start. So it could be worse, I guess, right? That one way to look at it.
Yeah, and most of these teams, if I'm not mistaken, are in the East. Or no, half and half. Okay, they are half and half. The Wild. The Wild still haven't won. Did I lose you there? Well, just in case, I know we're live. I think Matt is just frozen. I'm not sure if it's frozen on my end or if it's frozen on his end. But we will get Matt back here in a second.
Winning like crazy. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Hi, Matt. Hey. I don't know who was frozen.
Oh, it's nothing like a starter episode than some technical difficulties, right? Just to throw it in there. Really represents the struggle we're both going to be facing later in the season here.
Oh my God.
Poetic in a way.
Well, let's start this off at least with talking a little bit about the Blackhawks here, because
Okay.
You got a lot of fans. You got a lot of fans that obviously don't want to hear about my success with the Red Wings because
I was going to say, yeah, we'll give the bad news and good news first, the sandwich, if you will. So yeah, we did win for the first time this season against the Sharks. Like I had mentioned, we won 5-2. Highlight of that game was Lafferty getting 2 goals, both of which were shorthanded. So that was phenomenal. And you know how he did it was standing in front of the net, which is what I constantly say and people constantly ignore. It works, and he is living proof of that. So got to keep that going. Taves is, I don't know if you saw any of the games, but Taves looks magnitudes better than he has in the last couple of years. I mean, what was it? He played maybe like 40 games last year at most or something.
And
so far
he's a lot of it he did not look that great, no offense.
No,
but
he looked slow.
I had seen a lot of highlights from a couple of your fans there who have added me on Facebook, and they're even saying, yeah, look at Taves. This guy's kind of picked it up a little bit more.
Oh, there we go. Got a comment. Should Kane and Taves just retire? Well, my thing was before the season started and seeing Taves currently, my thing would have been, yes, Taves should retire after the season, but I don't know. He seems to have perked right up afterwards. So maybe I'd say he's got at least another year. If he continues this season the way he's at, Kane, I think, has a couple in him. Honestly, it's where he goes when he gets traded, inevitably gets traded at the end of the season. I think will determine that for Kane. I don't know if you have any inputs on that one.
I being up here in Edmonton, so I ain't an Oilers fan. I got a lot of Oilers fans who will be watching this and talking crap whenever they can about how good their Oilers are. Which I got more points than you right now. So I don't want to talk
That's true. Yep. Beating them.
Yep. So they're hooting and hollering, saying we're gonna have 2 Canes on our team and we're gonna dominate. So the question just becomes. Is it we trade him at the deadline and we don't get that extra half of a year kind of thing where we could probably essentially get more in the off season, or do we just bite the bullet, get what we can right now and not tank, because no one ever wants to tank. No one can admit to
not tank, but let it ride as it were and see what happens. Just spin the wheel. Yeah, definitely. Well, that would be
for Kane.
Yeah,
I don't think he should. I don't think he should retire, because the comment that got thrown to me, I think this was 2 years ago when I was just going at it on Twitter with somebody. They were like, Patrick Kane is the best American-born player of all time, and I go, you're wrong. And they're like, tell me who's better. And I tried. And there was a couple people I did bring up, and I'm like, well, you got to bring up so and so and so and so, and they're like, look at Patrick Kane's stats. Look at this compared to and I go,
that's what always comes down to is those raw numbers or something else.
Yep. And he is the best American player of all time. So it makes sense. And I understand that he probably wants to get traded to an American team. He wants to stay in America, or at least stay in Chicago, and Chicago build something around them, which we know is not going to happen, but go to a contender.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So go to the Rangers. So go to
I was going to say, I still
say
he's going to go to Rangers, mostly because it's closer to his native Buffalo without being Buffalo, because they're not going to win a cup, even if they get him at the time. So yeah, Kane depends on where he's traded, I think, honestly, determine how much longer he's going to stay in the league.
I don't want to see Patrick Kane in the current jerseys of the Buffalo Sabres. Now, if they already went to the old classics that they're going to next year, trade everything, because I want to buy that jersey. That's a pretty jersey right there. That's a Patrick Kane.
If anything,
all
it's
black.
Just marketing for Buffalo at that point.
Yep.
Definitely. So that's what I have on that one. Speaking of Kane, though, he has been kind of quiet so far. Granted, only 3 games into the season, but not much out of him. Only 1 assist, though, which, if his stat record is really what's driving him forward in career, it kind of shows he's either letting some of the new I guess, add-ons take their time in the spotlight to warm up. Or maybe he's even just slowing down a little bit. Age always gets everybody at some point. Maybe he's just taking it easy. After all, it is only 3 games in the season. Not too much to comment on with that one, with Kane at least.
Could also be something to note, maybe that he knows he eventually will get traded. So
so why should he, put himself out there?
Yep, doesn't want to get injured, doesn't want to put too much effort. And not saying this in a bad way to any of the Chicago people watching. Listen, Patrick Kane has done enough for your organization where the guy can take a stride off for half of a season until he gets traded. Okay.
Yeah. And it worked with DeBrincat. Honestly, he took essentially shared the spotlight with him for a few seasons there, and it worked tremendously well for both of them. So probably just looking to find that partner, I guess, for this season, or at least the half season that he'll be playing with Chicago. Interesting. We'll see what happens there. All right, that's pretty much all the good news I had for the Blackhawks. So you want to enlighten us on the Red Wings and how they've been doing spectacularly well?
I mean, I wish that I wasn't working so late that the day that of the first game, because I basically came home 20 minutes ago before the game. I didn't have any chance to put any money. But something in me was like, listen, Soderblom's going to score or get a point tonight, so go put a bet on it. And it was like plus 1,600. Ridiculous odds for him to score. And, man, I'll never get those odds with Soderblom back. But the 6'8" forward Chara-looking guy, where there's a meme that I put out on Facebook to anybody who adds or follows me. It's that funny Family Guy meme where he says, oh, what the hell is this? And the penguin and the elephant making a baby and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically Pavel Datsyuk and Zdeno Chara is what Elder Soderblom is.
I think that's probably the most accurate description of that guy you could ever have right there. A combination of two just monsters. Yep, there.
It makes no sense how that guy could actually move the puck at that size. It makes sense that if he was a defenseman, because a defenseman just went in the first round that Detroit, I know, was looking at this last past draft with that Maverick Lamoureux from the QH or QJMHL, however the hell you say it. And size usually means defense. So it's the fact that the Red Wings have a guy who's playing on top lines. Like the Red Wings are putting out guys and basically saying, we're going to do 3 lines of scoring where we're going to put it out there and see what happens. And he's doing it. It's the first goal of the season. That to me just shows the development is already starting for the Steve Yzerman train. And
exactly. Yeah, they're doing
it's
something
been a
right
while
out there.
Yeah, it's been a while. I like it when we can be competitive. I also liked it when, and I always say daddy's home, because like Yzerman was like, okay, I left Tampa. Here's your cup. Here's your players.
Ready to go. Here it is. Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
Done.
and now he came here. Holland left him a couple of pieces, but everything else is what we've acquired because of the Mantha trade and because of the good drafting and stuff. And now we don't have necessarily that many, picks, but we have Casper. We have Edmondson in the prospect pool.
You've got him down the pipe, yeah. If you could give us some of that good drafting, we would love it down here. That would be phenomenal because yeah.
And that's the thing is when you look at the drafts that happen, I know Ottawa a couple of years ago had that Paul Brown or whatever the heck his name was that they drafted in the first round that everyone didn't even know who his name was. They're like,
literally out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they're like, we have done our stat, and the guy's been all right.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's been not bad, but like some of these teams, literally, you just look at the tape, and they're like, oh, he's got flash, but some of these other things, or oh, he can defend good because he's 6'7", but he doesn't have any skill at a shot. It's like I don't need that when I put on a third line, dude. So
but again, if I'm playing to my skill level, just raw as it is right now, then what's the issue here? I know my role and I'm playing it pretty well, which I think is a thing that's lost on a lot of, I don't want to say modern coaches, but maybe modern scouts even. They just don't see that click, I guess you could say.
And GMs too, the way that the scouts to the GMs, like, and I use Maverick. I'll be using Maverick Lamoureux. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" He's one of the Arizona Coyotes' top 3 picks that they got this year. His size, again, and just like what he does is not supposed to be a first round pick necessarily.
No.
For what you're supposed to do. But Arizona's doing it right because they know eventually their second or third line when they need that big guy in there to just add the intimidation and just that board presence. That's what they drafted him for. Most players or most teams get that in the 5th and 6th round. Arizona and a couple other teams were willing. Yeah, we're willing to risk it in the 1st. So that's what some of these GMs and owners and scouts and coaches have to start doing now is pull the trigger because you can't just have 12 Patrick Kanes on your team. It never will work. Toronto.
Exactly, yeah, because then they'll be too busy trying to pass the puck to each other or just not straight up and just constantly being defended and lost. And I know might be a bit of a throwback, but there was a conversation I had a few years ago with about the same vein, but it was like about Marian Hossa and how he wasn't that good of a player because the stats weren't just there to support it. And I was like, okay, you clearly don't watch or understand hockey because what that guy does is immeasurable in numbers. And that's exactly why he never stole the puck. He never played it to that level of like Patrick Kane or Crosby or Taves or anybody of that same caliber. But that dude's sense on the ice of knowing exactly where he needed to be and what he needed to do, unrivaled. And that's something that is really hard to quantify like that. And I think that's something maybe an older generation understood more, which is why you're seeing, I feel like it's more first round busts are happening in the last 10, 15 years than it has been in the last, I guess, the NHL history, really. I don't know if that's just me, but that's what I've noticed.
It's it goes back to the and I can never remember the year of the draft. I just caught out here when the Oilers selected the Sarnia guy there, Yakupov, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's a name I haven't heard of in a while.
It was Nail Yakupov. Yeah, Nail Yakupov. There we go. And he went first overall. And every team all the way down to like the 5th or 6th pick knew that this guy had an ego out his ass. Like
bigger than anything.
And he was like, you're going to pay me and this, that, and everything else. And at that time, and even still kind of now, is when all these guys put out, scouting reports, or even when Bob McKenzie puts out his mock drafts and stuff like that. When we do, a lot of these coaches and GMs find that they're like, well, if we don't impress our fans and stuff like that, then
we're out. Yeah,
exactly. That's why you look the Jets there. They got Brad Lambert, who fell all the way in the first round there, and he was a name, but everyone was like, oh, he's got problems with this, he's got problems with that. The guy can score.
Yeah, he can.
That's the point.
Very well. Well, it was like also bringing up to even this draft class this year, Shane Wright fell to 4th, and he was expected first overall, and he ended up on Seattle, and everybody was blowing about. He was mean mugging Montreal for not doing it. Like that was because awesome. The kid has attitude problems. Yeah.
And you know what? Like, Seattle has been was hoping for that. Like they're like, well, not that we're tanking for the first overall pick, but like we want Shane, they probably I think wanted Logan Cooley deep down, but those were
honestly,
those were the players that they wanted. The fact that he fell to 4th to them and then took that Montreal passed on me, Arizona passed on me, and I think the Devils passed on me. I'm going to own this Seattle team with this Dylan Guenther and possibly Connor when he gets here. And when we get one more piece, we have one line and we're going to be something. And he may not have that many minutes on the ice because, the guy is still young and stuff like that. But that mentality is all I need for him to start kicking some major ass. Any early guesses who might be?
There we go.
Oh, hey, I think go.
We back there? All right, there we go.
Hello again.
A few hiccups, but yeah, sorry. We were saying regarding Cooley in Arizona or something like that.
Basically Cooley would have probably been the only other player I think Seattle would have taken at number 1 if it wouldn't have been for Shane Wright. So Shane was going to Seattle no matter what. So
I was going to say he was not going to fall farther than 4th because who was up next? I got Philadelphia or Columbus. Yeah, that was pretty much it. There's no way Seattle would want him to go to them anyway. But
nope.
Nope, not at all. I know, switching topics here, I saw a comment come up when it kind of cut out, or any early guesses who might be in the playoffs this year? Yeah, we had a few. I know that we were talking about Stanley Cup final matchups.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be Avs and Rangers. I think you were Canes. Did you say Oilers too?
Canes and Oilers. Canes and Oilers.
Oilers. Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if I said Avalanche again or not, but I know I said Oilers for sure in the Final Four there. So
definitely, because I feel like it really depends on if the Avs can keep this train rolling, which so far it seems like they're doing a good job of. And of course, I still think the Rangers are just going to do it primarily because I still think that Kane is going to end up on the New York Rangers. And I think him and Panarin will immediately hit off where they left in Chicago when he got traded to Columbus. So that's primarily what's driving my choice. I know, obviously, if he does end up on the Oilers, that's probably the team to watch to hoist the cup at the end of the season. So we'll see that. I don't know. Any other guesses as to who do you think will make the final cut there, Andrew?
I mean, Vegas is starting to really kind of show that they could probably do it. I mean, a lot of people kind of counted them out. I could see the Vegas Golden Knights going on a bit of a run. I was just looking at the standings and looking at a couple of teams. I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh does go far. I know that a lot of people have called them a sleeper team, but anytime that you got two superstars like that, where you can add another line and some other pieces, like they got Letang, they got Malkin, they got Crosby. You just add a couple more pieces, which they kind of already have. Like they probably could do another run, but like look. Everybody else is kind of locked in.
Yeah, it's still kind of early too to tell, but I think definitely Canes and everybody that we mentioned. Here we go. Susie Jaswin, will the Coyotes be as bad this year as last year? You want to take first stab at that one, or is it pretty much written on our faces that?
Yeah. They do have a couple of players. Like they still got Smalls, they still got Keller, and they still got a few other guys in there. But it's just the fact of where they're playing, the unknowing of how long they're going to be playing at a facility that small.
Exactly, because it's Arizona State University, right, is where they're playing out of now? Yeah, okay.
Not only that, like there's like the talks of possibly like two other teams that come in eventually, but that'll happen like 10 or 15 years down the road. So they're going to have to be relocated. And the question is where are they going to be relocated to?
I know a lot of people are looking towards Quebec for them to move to. I personally don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. But on the plus side, though, I had mentioned this earlier regarding Arizona, too. So currently, granted, only 3 games still. I know we've said that a lot. But it is, hold on, I had it here. Let's pull it up. The Blackhawks in the standings are 23rd. We have the same record currently as the Tampa Bay Lightning, but since they have a worse goal differential, they're actually 24th. And the only other team they're beating that has a win is the Arizona Coyotes by 2. So on the plus side right now, the Arizona Coyotes are in the same league as the Tampa Bay Lightning, who made it to the cup.
That ain't gonna last. That ain't gonna last. I don't know whose end it is. You know, is it me or is it him? If you're in the comment section and you can hear me, drop it down. Or if you can hear him, drop it down. That's the best way to know who's the problem. It's you, the fans. Aha. Let me figure this out.
Hello, This is Paul from Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. We are located at 1026 South State Street in historic downtown Lockport, Illinois. We are very excited to be partnering up with the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show, as well as the 1252 brand, because we are one of the few Chicagoland breweries that embrace sports and sports culture. Come in for a fresh brewed beer made right here in Lockport while catching the game of your favorite team. Stay for the live music that we have booked every weekend, or just come for a cozy atmosphere to enjoy a good conversation with a friend, loved one, or complete stranger. Nick and Ivy makes you feel right at home no matter what the occasion is. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching for Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. Visit our website for our up-to-date tap list or to go shopping on our online store at nickivybrewing.com. That's Nikivy brewing.com. Come in today for a fresh brewed beer born and raised in Lockport, Illinois.
Fuzzy football, are you ready, brother? Real football action on a glossy game surface played shuffle style. Slide a shuffle puck at pass or run targets, and a free mobile app keeps track of every game detail. Easy to learn, but this game of skill is difficult to master. Take care of the ball or turnovers will kill your drive. The game is guaranteed to get your competitive fire burning, and it's perfectly sized to take anywhere. The park, a barbecue, your next tailgate, or fun at home on game nights. Fozzy football is simply the best, most realistic and competitive game of football available anywhere. Add defense when your skill improves and take the game to the next level. The perfect mix of fast action and real football drama, where a last-second Hail Mary can break hearts or make champions.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Darren, licensed real estate broker with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group in Homer Glen. Are you looking to buy or sell? Have you been disappointed in the past? The Jonathan Darren team with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group focuses on providing you with a concierge level of service during the process of buying or selling. We are a service-oriented team with a fresh and professional approach to selling real estate. Our goal is to combine knowledge, skills, and passion to exceed our clients' expectations, and most of all, we truly care. We are a knowledgeable real estate team focused on offering expertise and innovative solutions for our clients. The Jonathan Darren team has 5 full-service real estate brokers and a dedicated full-time marketer servicing all of Chicagoland. We will customize a detailed plan around your timeline for a sale, purchase, investment, estate, or other needs. Real estate transactions can be stressful, but don't need to be. Let us handle it for you. Visit our website, homesbyjdt.com, or call 708-308-1938 today. Expect better in real estate. Choose the Jonathan Darren team.
Welcome back, everybody, to the One Timer Hockey Show live from the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill, 159 Studios in beautiful downtown Lockport. Just heard from some of our lovely sponsors here that can keep our show going. Nick and Ivy, great people. Fozzy football, wonderful, wonderful fun, especially for tailgating. And, of course, Jonathan Darren. We were just talking about how Arizona, unfortunately, looks like they're going to stay in the same spot relatively towards the bottom, potentially beating the Hawks. We'll see how they play out the rest of their season, but not the worst start for them, I guess, overall.
No.
Would you say?
We all know that as much as everybody wants the first overall pick, it's whatever Daddy Bettman wants. You know, wherever Bedard can make the most money is where he'll go. Yeah,
which probably not going to be Arizona, probably not Chicago, maybe Detroit. So it depends.
Actually, I would probably lean more both your guys' way, because if I'm not mistaken, now hear me out.
All right, lay it on us.
We all I think everybody kind of knew when McDavid got drafted that he was supposed to maybe go to Toronto.
I do remember this. Yeah, he was. Yeah. There was a lot of talk, very heavily suggestive talk that he was going to end there, and all of a sudden, somehow he ended up in Edmonton. Which, crazy how that worked out.
What did Edmonton need, if you know, at that time?
I'm pretty sure it was essentially him, if I'm not mistaken.
They needed him, but the city needed a new stadium.
It did, yes.
So they played at Rexall, and then all of a sudden when McDavid comes in and the public all of a sudden are like, the next McDavid? the next Gretzky.
Yeah, we have a shot at this again. Ooh, hold on. Yeah.
So now all of a sudden we have an arena that looks like a hockey stick, like from the sky. So
I've never actually seen it from, I guess, the outside view, so I'd have to check that out now.
More looks like, I guess, a lot of people say it looks like a putter or a driving.
Okay,
driving
yeah,
club.
I can see it.
But it does have that little
stick, yeah.
It does have that little part on it.
That must be nice.
I add this to that, where we all kind of know that Bedard's supposed to be the next best thing, and that there is going to be another player behind him, like there was with McDavid, that will be like the next Jack Eichel, and no one's going to care about that guy.
Nope.
But the name Connor Bedard is going to sell that money, so that's why.
Absolutely.
You bring it to Arizona. If he goes there, you could all of a sudden convince the city of Arizona.
Stadium. And they won't ever potentially move to Quebec, like I had mentioned earlier. So, or maybe Quebec shells in for a stadium to get that team to move there.
Well, Quebec City has $1.1 billion stadium, and it's actually gorgeous.
Is it?
And it's built
there.
Yeah, it is built literally specifically for if anybody want to bring a hockey team.
Yeah, hey, we just so happen to have it lying on. If you want to come join us, parlez-vous français? No.
Whoa! But the other one is you guys. What stadium do you guys play at?
We're currently still at the UC.
And how old is that building?
I don't actually know. I want to say since the 90s or something. Hey, Mike, do you happen to know how old is the UC? You know, off the top of your head?
It is a fairly...
93.
Okay, yeah, so it is still 90. So it's relatively...
So it's getting into that category.
Because they tore down Chicago Stadium.
Yeah, they tore down the old Chicago Stadium for it. Yeah.
So that's kind of getting into that weird stadium year, I guess you would say.
Phasing or something.
Yeah, like the Florida Panthers need a new one as well. Amelia Stadium's getting some readjustments and stuff. So Connor Bedard, wherever he lands, like if he lands in Seattle, like they're not gonna like refix obviously Climate Change Arena. They just built that. But
just have him there.
Yeah, his name, like Connor's name, goes and fixes, I guess you would say, possibly one of these teams. So if he goes to Montreal, I'm calling it right now. Bettman is an asshole. He's like, fine, I'll give a Canadian team one shot. It's like you picked the wrong one.
This is your 1 year. Yep. Now make it count.
So I got a
Don't
question
make
off the side. I have a question off to the side.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it.
Are you guys gearing up for this coming up Friday when you guys head to head against each other?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This Friday is the game. Absolutely.
I don't want to kill each other.
I will actually be at that game.
I'm jealous.
Friendly wager.
Oh, we could do that.
Like maybe if the Hawks win, Andrew Faubert has to wear a Hawks jersey.
I don't even know where I would find one of those.
I was going to say, where are you going to get one up there in Alberta, though?
I don't know.
Does Amazon deliver to Alberta really quick?
Wish.com.
Wish.com. Oh, yeah, that could be funny.
Yeah.
Whoever loses has to wear a Wish.com version of the other sweater. I could only imagine what horrors that would be. That might be fun. I'd be willing to take that one.
You want a Wish.com ugly sweater?
Wish.com ugly sweater. All
right. Virtual hand.
Yeah, there we go. All right, that's good. I feel very confident that I'm going to be wearing the ugliest Detroit Red Wings sweater
knowing
next week.
Knowing all the sports gods that exist, knowing my luck, that's going to be like a 9-1 spanking by the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
Jones
that's true. They
like
do
4 of them.
They do owe me a few favors, so that might swing either way. That's going to be pretty good. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to have somebody in the comments, if you could find something that looks pretty good. Let us know if you have any ideas, because that's going to be a good one. I will be at that game, and now I have skin in it, as it were. So I'm going to be cheering extra loud this time to make it work.
I haven't been to a game in a few years, but I know I'm sending the fiance for her birthday to go see her Golden Knights against the Oilers with her mom.
Oh, she's a Golden Knights fan. How did that happen?
She grew up here in Edmonton, and she kind of was like, I guess you would say kind of like me, where I grew up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and everyone was like, well, you're a Maple Leaf fan then, right? It's like, yeah.
I know them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I became a Red Wings fan. She still loves the Oilers and stuff like that, but she loved the idea of a Vegas team. She was getting all on board with it. And then as soon as that logo came out in the colors, she was like, "Gold, do you say?"
Really? Oh,
right.
I went the opposite way. I was all stoked for it, and then I saw that. I was like, "Oh, they could have done." I feel like they could have done something better, but
she hates the gold. Like when they do their weird retro or whatever. When it's the gold,
what were those about?
She hates it. She absolutely hates it. She's like, "We're not the Nashville Predators, thank you."
Thank you. Yes, it's just you're the Vegas Mustard Cats instead. Again, like Nashville. Yeah,
not a fan of it, but no, big Golden Knights fan.
Interesting. Okay,
I am not allowed to talk about Fleury because I did not know how well she was going to take it, so I called her and I sent her the pic, and I came home and she was in tears.
What is
Oh, she was tearful.
I got on right there. Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, he's got the Fleury on too. My fiance's gonna love that.
As I disconnect.
My fiance is gonna absolutely love that. I'm gonna have to screenshot that at 36 minutes or about 35 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah, she's gonna love that.
That was the highlight of last season for me. So I figured I might as well get it while I still could. And I did. I don't regret it one bit.
Jersey.
Absolutely.
Those things, listen, I've been on a couple of sites. Like, I know a lot of people, if you're not like a collector and stuff like that, that jersey signed by Fleury is respectable. Like, it's respectable. I don't have many Blackhawk stuff in my house, but I'd appreciate one of those.
All right. Well, I'll probably find them. I know, speaking of old goaltenders from Chicago, Scott Darling, who I also have and I wear occasionally, joined the NBC SN crew after whatever the Chicago Sports Network is for the studio stuff. So there's a good chance I might run into him finally again and get him to sign his sweater for me. That would be phenomenal. But actually, that brings up a good point. Andrew, who would you have a signed sweater of? Who would you kill to have for you?
Okay, well, I have my Datsuk's up on my wall. And that one came out of nowhere. Someone literally just messaged me like 8 years ago and was like, "I have a Datsuk signed jersey. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "I'm on my way." It's just done.
Oh, yeah,
like, how much?
Out there. Yeah, what do you want for it then?
Done. On the way. I had an Yzerman signed jersey, and this was about a year and a half ago. We went through a little bit of financials and stuff like that, so I ended up packing it up and selling it with a couple of other things. That was probably the second hardest thing I've ever had to sell, besides the first ever appearance of Carnage comic book I had.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
But when that guy came to pick it up, when I handed it to him, it was kind of like I didn't let go for a quick second, and he kind of stopped and he smiled. And he's like, "Do you want to reconsider?" I'm like, "No, just take it.
Take it, please, before it's too gone." Yeah,
get out of my driveway.
No, I saw a comment pop up there. I believe it was Cindy. Was it best goalie so far? Like currently in the league? I'm not sure who I would put for that.
In my opinion, the two household names that come to mind would be Vasi and Shesterkin.
Yeah, probably. No, I'm gonna say is Jonathan Quick still in the league, or is he retired? I was going to say a few years ago, but
he gave the Oilers a bit of a run there in the first round of last year's playoffs.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
What's that guy down in Tampa?
Vasi.
Vasilevsky, yeah.
Vasi, yeah. Vasi and Shesterkin.
Yeah, I'd say toss up. Oh yeah, absolutely. He's good. He's the one that kept them in for as long as they were, honestly, until the Avs finally just stomped them. Vasi.
The Vasi, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Vasi. Who's the one on the Predators there, actually? He's pretty good.
I don't remember. Hold on.
Not Rene, but the guy that's replaced him has actually been doing really good.
Tippity-tappity.
I'm going to say Saros.
Saros. And then, of course. I know this. Lankinen went there to be backup. Yeah, Lanks and Saros. Both, honestly, a good tandem pair, really. That's a pretty good one. So, decent amount of, I feel like, pairings going on across the league. Oh, there we go. Susie Lukowski Jasmine. I would like a signed jersey from Mike Arizona. If I had said that right, I'm not sure. Arizona, yeah. I don't know who that is, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
You don't know who that is?
No, I don't.
Seriously, man, it's the Olympic hockey team, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. See,
USA.
so the Miracle on Ice. I had the problem with not being live there.
I'm right here. I'm just showing off my signed ones. I got my
Yep.
Yeah, I got my two $2. I got my Canadian there on the Panthers that live 20 minutes away from where I am, and a Howe jersey.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
The Howe, of course, that's a classic one.
But it's not.
When I was 21.
Ooh.
I forgot.
When I was 21.
Someone. Sorry, I couldn't hear him in the background.
Nah, again. That's pretty dope. What were you saying there, Andrew?
Because someone called me out on it, and there was just like, how dare you have a Gordie Howe signed jersey still like in the plastic, just hanging up there? I'm like, sorry.
Well, why would you take it out of the plastic?
Well,
keep it nice and pristine. I feel like.
Now it's his son. It's Mark Howe.
Okay.
When he did play there and stuff like that. So, but yeah, a lot of people have been like, "Whoa, dude!" And I'm like, "No. My Gordie Howe card is back there and good keeping. So don't you worry."
Absolutely. I think the only one I have signed is my old Crawford one, and that's signed by Jim Cornelis from back when they had the draft in Chicago. I went there with my sister, and I met up with him. Super cool guy.
Nice.
Just as tall as I am. Yeah, but I have yet to find anybody to sign it that actually played on the team yet. I'll get him eventually.
I never thought about that for drafts. Like it makes sense that seems like, what you would do is you would get a bunch of autographs from people from at drafts and stuff like that. Like I'm going to the NFL draft in 2024. This is something that we got to start prepping like other things like that. We're going to have like competitions to see who gets the most signatures or whatever. So.
Oh yeah, we could do that. That's actually good long-term goals there too. Whoever can convince the most people.
Yeah,
I think that's a good one. We'll start with the wish sweaters first and see where we go from there.
Oh, here's my buy. This is my co-host who I was just on a show with there, Kyle. He's the big Oilers fan. He'll pop on these shows once in a while.
Can we get that comment pulled up there for everybody? Let's see what he's got to say.
I know he says you can clip that too. That's absolutely. He is a diehard Oilers trade for a defender, become immediate cup contenders. You can clip that. He was just saying that not too long ago too. He's like, you get them a defenseman and they're basically good. I was going at him and being like, you and the Maple Leafs just put the same damn team, the same roster. Yep. You lose a couple of guys, you replace them with basically the same damn player, and you say this is our year.
Didn't they do that for Duncan Keith just last year? Yep. Just gonna softball that one up there.
Though a lot of I respect to a lot of Oiler fans out here, they're like, we do not want that trade. Like
I thought so. I thought that was kind of interesting that they went for it. I know that he requested it and it ended up I think we retained a decent chunk of the salary, which is the only reason why they accepted it. But I still thought that was kind of iffy on their end. He is a cyborg, but he was still very old. So
I do remind them that their GM is the reason why my Red Wings are in a rebuild. And this rebuild has been so freaking long.
Oh yeah, we're feeling that same thing from our old one. Bowman, of course, doing everything he could after 2015 to make sure we stayed at only 3 wins for the next 10 years. But yeah, little oof.
But you guys had depth, and you guys like I said, when you have 2 guys and usually like a third that's kind of like in there and stuff, usually you could just bring in other guys every year and you get a good run.
Yeah, you just rotate through them.
Did not work out.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Keith. Oh, that's true. He did provide quite a lot of veteran experience, which is, again, what we had mentioned earlier, something that stats don't really record or suggest or reflect. Yeah, just knowing certain things and trying to rub off on the younger generation of that is something that you can't really just gain immediately off of people, as it were.
You know who's a veteran in that locker room, though? Connor McDavid.
That's true. He is kind of pushing a veteran experience now.
Like, I hate to be that guy to the Oiler fans. It's like, he's your leader, man. Like, he's the one that's got to do it. But the Oilers got a good team. They're finally getting on the right track. I do think that they're going to get to the Cup Finals. And I kind of want them to, because it would be kind of fun out here to go to those.
I was going to say, yeah, you're going to have parties all over the place if that happens.
I'll buy an Oilers jersey for that. Hell yeah. I'll blend in.
I might come up to Canada, honestly.
I've told
Alberta.
I have told a lot of people who I have met through doing a lot of these shows. I'm like, if anybody ever wanted to come up to Canada, like if someone said, I am in Calgary for a weekend, do you have free time to come down for a night and like party or whatever? It'd be like, if I have the time, I probably would, because I'm only 3 hours away. It'd be like, why?
You're almost right there. Yeah. Just skip away.
But if anybody ever came up to like my neck of the woods, like randomly from these shows, I've promised them a good time. Like every single time. Like, you can come up here randomly, like you probably got some other stuff to do, but you're like, hey Andrew, let's go party. Oh, we're gonna party.
I'll take you up on that later. All right, here we go. Has more experience, if that's what we are saying. LOL. Also, I'll call it now. Oilers goalies coach will be fired this season.
I've had my fair share.
Oh.
See, and that was another one that the Oilers signed that they weren't like, a lot of fans weren't too like keen on.
A little iffy on it.
Yeah, they're like, why are we spending all this money? And, like, the only one that I was, why are you spending this type of money was the Nuge contract.
Yeah, that was a lot to just drop on him. I even thought that.
I get the hate all the time from from a lot of Oiler fans, not necessarily like Kyle, but like other guys, because I went out there and I'm like, he could have gone to a better team or at least to a better situation and got more money. But he took a pay cut to be on a third line or to be put on the second line and then scrutinized like
everything is detail oriented. Like, well, you missed one pass, so why are you on the second back to third? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. That's what ended up happening for a bit there too. They were shifting the lines, if I recall, a little bit, at least on third. Yeah, between third and fourth. Trying to essentially shove a puzzle piece where it didn't really belong.
No.
But that was just an outsider's perspective. I don't really scrutinize Oilers hockey the same way they do up there. So,
well, and I've told them all too, like if you put, Kane, Hyman, and Nuge on the second line, then you can leave Draisaitl and McDavid and put whoever the hell you want on that first line with them.
Rotating first.
Just stop splitting them up, for crying out loud. If you want to win the cup, they need to stay together, and you need to figure out your second line some way else. I don't care if it's
absolutely
what is that, $24 million on a first line to get all your goals. They're getting like 5 points a game when they're together.
If they do it though, then it's definitely worth every dollar spent, because that was especially in 2013-15 Hawk season. That's what they did with Kane and Taves. They were doing that same thing, and then in 14 they split them, and that's of course the year that we didn't win. So it goes to show splitting what works. Don't do it. Yeah.
Yep.
And Kings knocked us out in the Western Conference in 14. Yeah.
What was the year? What was the year that the Coyotes knocked us out?
Oh, that's when they went to the conference final and they lost to the
Canucks.
That was 2011, I think.
It was Sean Burrows.
Yeah, that sounds like 2011.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
I was ready to snap that too.
But regardless, if you got a line that works and it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just let it go.
Like, did you split up the Sedin sisters?
Yeah.
No.
No, why not? I wonder why they never did that, huh?
Why couldn't Daniel go to his own line and produce? Why couldn't Hendrick go to his own? Like, don't be dumb. Like, stop
it's
this.
Simple. You're trying to make. It's just
I was
bad.
gonna say it's different when you have a situation now like Pittsburgh. It was Malkin and Crosby didn't necessarily want to do it together because they're meant that one's a hard ass Canadian, one's a hard ass Russian. So they didn't want to work together, but they realized for that. Yeah. And then you add in Hossa and Letang and some of those other guys that were part of those. I hate those 2 years because we only got one damn championship, and the other fucking Fleury jumping out of the net for Lindstrom's shot 2 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh, I forgot about that. That was
I'll never forget.
a bit heartbreaking if it were.
The fact that we were the ones that gave Crosby his first ever Stanley Cup is the thing that really irks me to this day.
I was gonna say, it's just a twist of the blade right there.
Yep. And then when they won, they finally split them up, and they're like, okay, we're gonna build 2 lines for you guys, like whatever you want, we'll kind of do, and it worked for them. They won back-to-back games, so like
immediately after.
Yep.
They had 2 tools that they could use immediately based on what situation they were in. And it worked phenomenally for a decent amount of time there.
But you ain't going to get that with the Oilers until they actually win. And you ain't going to get that from, say, the Red Wings either. Because I know a lot of people in Detroit are saying, well, it needs to be Larkin, Bertuzzi, and Raymond kind of thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, like 1,000%. I agree with you. But I have no problems with Raymond going on a line with Zadina. I got no problem with Raymond going on a line with really anybody else because he's going to be here forever. This is only his second year. I want him to play with everybody. So
actually experience it. All right, here we go from Marty, lifelong Sharks fan, calling it a season for them already. They are 0-4 and selling my fandom for the year. Anyone care to make a case for their team that isn't in the Pacific Division? Yeah, that kind of hurts. They are currently the worst team. Granted, it's only mostly 3 games, but they played 0-4. We gave them that 4th loss there specifically. Yeah, that kind of – I don't really know what I would do to fix the Sharks at this point other than, I guess, burn it and try it again next year or in the next coming month, I think.
It does suck for them because in the day and age that we're in right now where – the big market cities are the ones that kind of survive with sports teams. San Jose is one of those outliers out that is basically surviving off of the logo internationally. Like it is what, like, it's never like say top 10, but it's always like 11th or 12th. You know what I mean? It's in the conversation of like some people's favorite logos. Like there's some Shark fans growing up here in Edmonton that I've started to see. Like you get your Oiler fans, and then you get your Red Wing fans, you get your Canadian fans. You start to, you get more Leaf fans and stuff, but you start to pop out a couple of San Jose fans. You're like, where the hell did you come from?
How did this happen? Yeah, that's a good point. My sister lives over in Germany, and I have seen, I've seen a lot of Hawks sweaters, and then I've actually seen a decent amount of Sharks. I'm like, how did you guys get this? You guys are like 10 hours apart from each other, and they're like, there's a hockey team there in Germany that are the Sharks, and that's how they get there. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go from Marty again. There is no fix, only destroy and rebuild. Yep, that's kind of what I was feeling. Hate seeing our best players go, but Couture, Mayer, Hertl all deserve to be contributing to a cup contender. That's fair. They are decent. I feel like you could say they're being wasted there, but it's just underutilized is the word I would use. They just seem to be confused at what they want and how they're going to do it is what I've seen from the Sharks so far. Like
Marleau and Burns and Pavelski and Thornton, like the days of like the goods, we're not Sharks. We're not necessarily Shark fans. Like I have them as one of my, say favorite teams. Like it goes Red Wings and then Kraken and then Jets, but I also appreciate say like the Coyotes and the Sharks. Those are my 5 teams, I guess we'd say, but it's Red Wings. It does suck to see the Sharks go into this because everyone's going to forget about this team. They're going to become the Sacramento Kings of the NBA where they're like, that's right. That's that other team I keep forgetting.
Everybody's going to be missing a team and be like, oh, San Jose, how could I forget that?
And I don't want that.
It stings. No, nobody wants it, but it's just something you have to do. Speaking of something we have to do, we're going to take a quick break right here and listen to some more of our fabulous sponsors. Don't worry, though. Andrew and I will be right back. So stay there, and we'll be there.
Hey, this is your girl Ruby from Habano Cigars in Homer Glen, Illinois. We are the best cigar lounge around. From Davidoff exclusives to anything Placencias, from rare Opus X's, and everything in between. We literally have it all. And if it's not here, we'll get it for you. Here at Habano Cigar Lounge, we host amazing and exceptional events on the last Thursday of every month. That includes free food, raffles, prizes, and giveaways. We're open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday 9 to 11, and on Sunday 10 to 10 p.m. Again, we are located at 133 West 143rd in Homer Glen, Illinois, so drop by and give us a call today, 708-590-6473. Habano Cigars, Homer Glen. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Hi, this is Kathy O'Connell at Coach's Corner, located at 8118 West 143rd Street in Orland Park. Our phone number is 708-364-1026. We are Orland Park's #1 sports bar. Come in for our wonderful beer menu and seltzers with a fully stocked bar. Watch a game, drink a beer, and try something off our amazing menu. We have everything to choose from: nachos, potato skins, and our house-made bar chips to start off with. Then try our tacos, burgers, and one of our delicious sandwiches. And don't leave without trying our famous jumbo wings. They do not disappoint. Coach's Corner. It will sure to become your local bar. Again, we are located at 8118 West 143rd Street in Orland Park. Come see us today.
Megaplex Sports Complex is a 78,000 square foot center filled with hardwood and turf. They have baseball rentals with batting cages, softball, soccer, lacrosse, gymnastics, cheerleading, cornhole, basketball, volleyball, and pickleball. It also features a bar and grill with the best pizza and beef sandwiches around. They cater to events such as birthdays, graduations, corporate parties, as well as memorabilia shows. Check them out at Megaplex Sports Complex, 15301 South Bell Road in Homer Glen, 708-966-4210.
Hi, everybody.
Sorry, still muted there. Welcome back, everybody, to the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill 159 studio in downtown Lockport, Illinois. Andrew and I were just going over how, I guess, unfortunate it was for the Sharks to have slid into the obscurity that they're now facing from, being such an actual solid team from not even that long ago. Just within 8 years, I think it just kind of slid down that trail where you just kind of forget, as it were. But
for people out there, and that's Marty, that's the fan there. If you want to get like perspective here, I was watching the Sharks and the runs that the Sharks had back in the day when they had Nabokov, and I thought Nabokov was one of the better goalies and most underrated. And that's the one thing that San Jose has always had going for them, is they had underrated and great goaltending, like Arctis Urbe and Nabokov and stuff like that.
Yeah, decently. Yeah, Niemi too. Yeah, was from.
Oh, that's right, Niemi.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Very good goaltender.
Man, I miss Niemi.
It's hard for me not to chime in.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Niemi is great.
I know a lot of puck. It's hard for me not to chime in with you guys.
What was the okay? So with that being said, I want to get shout out to. I know we all kind of fuck Philly, but shout out to the Flyers back in the day, because they had Lettinen.
Yeah.
Bear.
Yeah,
Boucher,
Bear.
and then who was the crazy one?
The crazy
one.
Guy
Bear.
Guy Bear.
Was it Brizgalov or
Brizgalov? Was he on the? Was he Philly?
It was Varlamov, I think.
Varlamov was.
No, he was really kooky. Very, very kooky, and he was part of that three. He was.
I know.
Not Bobrovsky, but
I know Emery. Emery was on there for a bit, and he was a bit eccentric.
Not Emery.
Yeah,
this guy was definitely a Russian or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was I'll find his name, but yeah, Lettinen. Since we're like giving shout outs to goalies and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's my favorite position. Hard, never gets supported right. And then especially if it's going to be, let's face it, on the Blackhawks, you're the only defense we've had for 6 years is the goaltender. So you're just left to stand on your head.
I liked.
So I looked it up. I did. Is it Fedotov? It was the first one. Ivan Fedotov came up.
Not Fedotov.
Okay.
I'm gonna find this YouTube.
That's all good.
What was the first one I said?
Briznikov? Yeah.
What? Okay, yeah. It is Ilya Brizgalov.
Brizgalov. That's why I was saying incorrectly trying to be.
It
Russian,
was Brizgalov. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that guy was nuts.
That guy was a
awesome.
lunatic. Speaking of lunatics, didn't you guys have Ed Belfour?
Ed Belfour was.
Was he a Shark?
He was.
No. Just saying you guys.
He was on the Hawks, for a bit there. Yeah. He was something else.
He went to the Stars after the Hawks.
Did he? Yeah. That sounds right.
Hasek went to Buffalo.
And then he went here to get his cup. Woo!
Well, let's not bring up the dark times, as it were. But speaking of, as it were, so we're gonna start wrapping up here. But I would love, Andrew, your take. What do you expect going into this game coming up Friday for the Red Wings Blackhawks?
If I'm being a hockey guy, like a straight up hockey analyst, the Red Wings should have a good game and should probably come in with a dub. But we are also starting the road trip, and we are also known to not be very good at that. So I would say it to be a close game. As a true diehard Red Wing fan, I fucking hate playing every team that I despise, respectively. And Chicago's always been in my top 5 of teams that I just despise. Listen. I do a show now with a Saints fan. So I've come around on the Saints. Yeah, okay. I've come around on the Blackhawks. Like I've come around on a few of these teams that I hate, but I will never come around on the fucking Boston Bruins. Okay.
Never. That one's right out. We can agree on that one.
If you are a Boston Bruin fan ever watching our show, you are going to have a bad fucking time.
Send us lobster when we beat you because it's going to happen. That'd be great.
Yeah, every time. I do think the game will be close, but I am very scared that you guys are probably going to win this one.
I feel like we're coming off the win from the Sharks, obviously, and it is our home opener. And I'm there, so that should be a pretty good boost to the confidence. I feel like we're both later as it has been like second and third period teams. So we're both going to be playing to our strengths at the same time. So I expect a good game nonetheless. I don't want to go on wish.com. So let's go Black. I think that's my final word on it. But anything else you want to add before we close it out for the night there, Andrew?
I mean, just so I can have it said, like, I know a lot of people were like, why does Detroit have 2 goalies right now? Like Nedeljkovic and Billy Husso, like, what are we doing kind of thing? Apparently Sebastian Costa's development is a lot faster than we thought. And everybody remembers what happens when Yzerman, drafted Vasilevsky. He knows exactly what he was getting in Sebastian Costa. So I'm excited for the kid who literally played in the exact town that I'm in.
I was going to say, that's coming up then, huh?
Yep. He's not going to come in this year, but when we are inevitably in that shot to start playing around with the big boys next year in the playoffs, he's going to start making his appearance, and everyone's going to start hating the Red Wings all over again because there's going to be too many names to hate on this team, and I absolutely love it.
So good. I just wish you guys were in the Western Conference still so I could hear Detroit sucks just a few more times. But we'll have to do with just the one. And on that note, I would like to thank everybody for joining us for the inaugural One-Timer Hockey Show broadcast. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors from Nick and Ivy down the list. Obviously, Whistle Sports Bar and Grill, of course, Papa Joe's in Lockport and Orland Park, as well as Stagecoach, Fozzie Football, Habana Cigars, Darren and team, and everybody else, Megaplex, Coach's Corner, everybody. I'd like to thank them because without them, we wouldn't be here. talking it up with, you guys and telling it as it is, which you won't get on the TV. And so on that note, I'd like to say thanks for joining us. And until next week, let's go Hawks.
Go Red Wings.
7 p.m. You can tune in to watch Andrew don a Wish.com Blackhawks sweater. So you don't want to miss that. Oh, no. All right. Until then, take care, everybody.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening to 1252 Sports Chicago.